and we are live with David Wilcock in a very serious situation in which he has received several death threats today as a result of an article he wrote. Part 1 is now on the web at divinecosmos.com, and he will be releasing Part 2 tonight, but we are also doing this over the air now to take some of the heat off him. We are going to bring on a person who is working in a sensitive capacity around the world. He has been notified of the situation. He has the ability to get the right people involved to make sure that David is protected, let's put it that way. But this person will be anonymous. They will be not be familiar with the situation, so David is going to have to possibly repeat some of what he has already described when the person comes on the air. Maxine, are you still with us?
Yes, I am, and I'm just honored and thrilled to be here. I adore David. I interviewed David, and I have his chart in front of me right now as he's talking.
Well, thank you. And at some point, if we can bring you into this discussion, we certainly will. You've been an absolute doll. We'll make it up to you. I knew that you would be sensitive to this situation, and just having you hold the space is really fabulous. So let's continue with the situation here. David, what you're going to need to do is go over the situation for our caller. Caller, are you on the air here? We've got Anonymous. Are you live?
Hi, you're talking to me?
Hi there. Thank you so much for coming on the call. I do understand that you work in a very sensitive capacity, that you were just notified of the situation with David Wilcock, that you are concerned, and we welcome your presence here on the air with us tonight. David will be happy to answer all of your questions and will go over everything for you. David, say hello to Anonymous.
Hi there.
Hi there, David. I understand you've got a few problems there.
Yeah, it hasn't been a very good day.
Well, can you tell me at all what's been happening to you, lad?
I have been following this Benjamin Fulford story for a long time. He has been talking for 2 years now about a lawsuit that was going to be filed. It goes back to the Chinese, the Kuomintang, who had gold that they sent to the Federal Reserve in 1938 on 7 battleships. The bonds were issued against that gold. It's all being kept secret. It's part of a vast trove of gold that is held as collateral against the world's economies. They are actually not fiat bubble money. They are secretly backed by gold. Very, very few people know this. You probably do, but most people don't. The Kuomintang are trying to get that gold repatriated, or at least get a fairer representation. Apparently it has caused a great deal of turmoil that they are doing this. And this lawsuit, I think, even though it was filed, it's official, it's on record with pacer.gov, and it was covered by Courthouse News Service. Apparently these people who threatened me were very, very angry that I put all this story together about the lawsuit to try to reclaim this lost Chinese gold. They threatened Benjamin Fulford, apparently. He disappeared for a day and a half. There was a television show he was supposed to be on. The people on the show said live on the air that he had been detained by a CIA-type group and held against his will in a hotel. Then Fulford shows up a day and a half later, calls the guy on the lawsuit, who I'm now in contact with, and said, "Oh, no, I'm fine. I just went off to the mountains and had fun with my wife, and then I came home and I went to sleep." Whereas Chodoin Daikaku, this guy who is apparently the head of the martial arts societies of karate and aikido in Japan, goes on the television show the next day and says that, in fact, he negotiated for Fulford's release, that it was very nasty. And so I posted all this on my website, including the videos to document it. The very next morning, I get this phone call saying that if I wanted to put out part 2 of my article, I'd better do it tonight because there may not be a tomorrow for me. That's the situation I'm under right now.
Well, you better put out part 2 then.
As soon as this show gets done, I'm going online. That's what I'm doing.
That's not disappointing me. Make sure you don't leave anything out. Put everything in. Put it all in. Let the world know.
Okay.
And we'll be watching, eh?
I think it's time.
We'll be watching, and we'll see. There was a laddie who rang you. Was he kind enough to leave your phone number so you could talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, the insider who called me, I can call him whenever I want. He was called by 2 other people, one of whom said, "Do you like David Wilcock?" And then, well, you might want to talk to him while you have a chance.
Well, David, we like you. And we'd be really unhappy if anything was to be happening to you.
I appreciate that.
I hope I can make that clear to all the viewers and all the folks out there that are listening in all the communities that we all know about.
Would it be helpful if David were to type into the Skype here a phone number where you could reach this contact?
Well, it'd save me looking up in the phone book, Lassie.
Right. So, David, if you're able to type into that information, I think that would be very helpful. Okay. I have a theory on who this is, and I believe that person may be standing by. If they're not standing by, if there's a way for you to make that possible, or if somebody else who's with you can do that, that'd be great.
Well, this person would not come on the air, but I'm sending you.
I totally understand that.
It's all right. Look, I've interrupted my humanitarian work here, and I don't think there'll be anything happening. So don't worry too much.
Well, I appreciate that, and I know that if you get grumpy, then some people will be very upset.
I'd hate to be grumpy. It's Christmas time, you know that.
Okay.
I want to be grumpy.
So this is just for the people that are on this. This is a private phone number. It is not to go out onto the air.
Yeah,
and
please.
The person is not to be called under any circumstances, other than by our very illustrious guest who is on a secret job site out in the larger world.
Yeah, please call. Please make that connection. And
let me make it clear to you, for all your viewers, you don't know this, David. The gold you're talking about is a small amount of gold. It's not a lot of gold when you consider the amounts of gold we're dealing with. We deal with vast amounts, far in excess of what you think you know about. The gold is so wide and so vast that the real problem is how to keep it all down and keep it quiet. It doesn't matter. The low and foul days of all of that gunboat diplomacy is long gone. And the low-level fellows that try to think that they're somehow doing things have nothing to do with it. And if any of these little lads who hang on with their public service jobs want to create a little problem, well, let's create a big fucking problem. Oh, sorry for the language. I've been out here in the field too long. But we know where they all live too. We know where all their families are. We know where everybody is.
That's very important. I think it bears repeating. So, caller, because your voice is a little faint, David.
Well, I'm a long way away, Leslie. If you only knew how far away I was. Let me tell you, I'm so far away you couldn't believe.
Right, but David, could you repeat that for the public? I'm going to let you repeat that they know where these people are, they know their homes, their houses, their families, they know all the details.
I can hear the caller very well. I hope that the audience can too. If not, we can probably post-produce this after the live show and bring the levels up so everybody will be able to hear this. It is true that I have spoken to people all across the spectrum at the very highest levels of every part of this cover-up. What this caller has notified us about is that there is much more gold even than what I was referring to on the show just now. The problem is how to keep it from really damaging human life on this planet, because if people know this, it could really cause a lot of pain for a while. I do think there needs to be a change. I do think this lawsuit needs to be made public. But I'm not sure that, I'm not an expert. I'm not an economist. I just wanted to write about a story. I'm not the president. I'm not running the country. All I'm doing is writing about this. And, what he said was
let me say that caller, and this is for the anonymous caller here to address, but isn't it true that a lot of the gold is being taken off world as we speak anyway?
Well, it gets put everywhere, It's all over the place. It's not in one spot.
Okay.
You wouldn't want to put all your eggs in one basket now, would you?
Okay, we're sorry, but we actually have to go to break. We don't have a choice on this. We will be right back with this developing story with David Wilcock, our anonymous caller, and Maxine Taylor, who's standing by. Thank you very much. It is Terry Cassidy, Project Camelot, Whistleblower Radio. We have a very sort of developing story at the moment with regard to David Wilcock, who has received death threats for an article that he wrote on divinecosmos.com, and I urge everyone to go to that website. We are in the process. My webmaster, Tommy Hansen, is in Norway, and it's the middle of the night there, but he has come online, and he is working on trying to get a PDF so that this is downloadable. We have gotten word from our listeners that they want to be able to download the article and distribute it around the net. And possibly other places. So we are working on that now. We've got Maxine Taylor, who is an author, an astrologer on the line, and she is standing by. She was my original guest, and she's being very gracious. Maxine, you want to say hello to everyone?
Oh, absolutely. David, it's so wonderful to hear your voice again. I'm thrilled for you. And, darling, I've already looked at your chart. You are safe.
I don't have, like, Pluto crossing my midheaven or anything like that?
No, darling, nothing like that. Nothing like that. You've got some awesome aspects. And if you like, you can call me when we're off the air, and I'll tell you what I see, because your chart is private, and I don't want to share it publicly without permission, but I'll share with you what I'm seeing. So please keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, this eclipse that we had over the weekend was so intense for me. For personal reasons that are unrelated to writing this article, I guess mildly related, but I have been through so much emotional cleansing, and I had that the night of the eclipse, I was up all night in bed. I was cold. I was so cold I was like shivering in bed just because of the emotional intensity of the stuff that I've been moving through. And so to hear all this and be threatened in the midst of what actually has been very powerful and positive healing effects for me, it was it caught me off guard. I think I'm pretty brave to be doing what I'm doing, and I don't want to be intimidated, but I just lost it on your show. So,
well, I that's okay, and this kind of honest, sort of depiction of where we're at is crucial for people to start to be honest with each other and understand that the people that do the kinds of jobs we do put ourselves on the line, and we do need to bond together to protect each other. And white light surround each other with white light and protection. We've got Anonymous on the line standing by. Anonymous, are you there?
I am still here.
Okay, Anonymous, we are really grateful to have you with us. We would like to talk about this developing story. I do want to ask you a question because it's my understanding that in some ways these kind of death threats, which I have also received in the past, are a type of psychological operation more than anything else. Do you think this is a psyop?